Himes is on with Will Kane, who I imagine must feel pretty embarrassed today with what has come out. And Himes is rather angry. And again, like, this is no, I'm not editorializing on Himes. Oh, I am editorializing on Kane. And, but this is, I'm sorry, like, the amount of stuff that this government classifies and is supposed to be secret, and this stuff they're doing on a signal, it's just insane. Go ahead.
But that was not a serious mistake, putting American lives into jeopardy. And I think that your side is doing this to score political points. The first political points they've been able to accomplish. Now, pause and understand,
Will Kane did not realize that Goldberg was going to release what was actually the actual substance on that chat. Again, I remind you, it is Pete Hegseth literally laying out the timing.
Down to the minute.
Down to the minute. 14:10, F-18s launch. 14:15, strike drones on target. 15:36, F-18 second strike starts. This is all saying this is what's going to happen, not in real time, literally saying 2 hours out in advance. This is how it's going to go, guys. Which is also just sort of like, wait, what? Why are you giving this information to any of these
people? Are you
people?
flexing? Like, are you trying to make yourself look important? Why does
No,
Scott
it's the opposite. I think he's not sure. Like, anybody see a problem with this? Oh, right. Hey, guys, this is the plan, but if there's something that looks funny here, let me know. There's a real quality of, like, I'm not 100% confident in this. Like, why is he sharing this with these 18 people on this Signal chat in the first place? Like, even if it's in like this is the kind of, like, it's insane. And it really does beg the question of, like, what stuff are they not using?
What else is in their Signal chats?
Go ahead.
I think that your side is doing this to score political points. The first political points they've been able to accomplish in 2 months.
Well, what we're talking about here, and I've spent a decade now watching how our intelligence community communicates with the warfighter. So I am not going to listen to you tell me that this is about a partisan advantage. It is a mistake, and yes, it's a very serious mistake. Because if you make a mistake in Social Security and grandma doesn't get a phone call through, that's bad. But there is not zero risk that our young men and women in uniform, the ones who flew those F-35s and F-18s,
Congressman, how was an American life put into jeopardy?
We will find
Congressman,
out.
how?
Because
fine, you've made a claim. Tell me how an American life was put into jeopardy.
Because in an insecure channel, in what was acknowledged as a mistake before, whether it was a day or 2 hours or 5 hours, in a Signal chat that we know. Do you want an answer to your question? In a Signal chat that we know that the Russians could intercept, they might have told the Houthis in an hour. And in half an hour, they're moving their anti-aircraft stuff around. It is by the grace of God that we don't have dead pilots or sunken ships right now. And I will tell you, whether it's a big mistake or a small mistake, to then go and attack Jeffrey Goldberg, without whom we wouldn't even know about this mistake, it's got to make...
Including Jeffrey Goldberg was the mistake. Including Jeffrey Goldberg was the mistake.
And get any military officer on your show right now, Will. Get any military officer serving right now, any intelligence officer, and they will tell you that Jeffrey Goldberg was the cherry on top of using an insecure channel in advance to discuss military plans.
I'm not going to argue, Congressman. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue that no mistake was made. And I'm not going to argue that Signal is the perfectly appropriate app to have this conversation. What I am going to
perfectly appropriate. Okay, look, I want to just show you this. I just find this extraordinary. Can you get back to the actual right here? Okay, look. All right. Scroll up. Again, I want to just remind you, this is Hegseth with the team update. And this happened sometime before 12:13 p.m. Okay, scroll down and you'll see he goes through everything that's going to happen. First, the F-18s are going to launch. Then an hour and a half later, the trigger-based F-18 at strike window starts. At 14:10, this will be 2:10, more F-18s launch. Okay, so he's doing this at around 12:15. just at like about, time now, 11:44 is when he's telling everybody this. So he's talking about things that are going to launch in an hour, 2 hours, half an hour, et cetera, et cetera. Then he says at 2:15, the strike drones will hit the target. This is when the first bombs will definitely drop because the other airplanes will be in the sky. At 3:36, the F-18 second strike starts. And then sea-based Tomahawks launched. More to follow per timeline. We are currently clean on OPSEC.
10-4, good buddy.
10-4, good buddy. Now roll down. Now look. It is all of this stuff, and then J.D. Vance says, I'll say a prayer for victory.
2 emoji prayer hands.
2 emoji prayer hands from other people. And that's at 12:15, okay? And then Mike Waltz says, we're going to disappear this in 4 weeks. I wonder why. Wonder why he feels that it's necessary to have any security whatsoever on this. And then Waltz says, building collapse had multiple positive ID. Amazing job. Now understand, this is, keep scrolling. Okay. And J.D. Vance says, what? And then their first target, the top missile guy, we had positive ID of him walking into his girlfriend's building, and now it's collapsed. J.D. Vance, excellent. I mean, they're psychopaths too, incidentally. But this is all happening. And then at 5:14, the Secretary of State says, good job, Pete and your team. This is so messed up. It is so messed up. This is such a abject failure. First of all, it also puts the lie, like, why should any of this be? I think they should announce all of the war plans before any attack ever.
And all takeoffs of the fighter jets and stuff.
The idea that Republicans would be able to sort of be the daddy party of national security after this is just absurd.
Remember the Geraldo thing where he drew a map in the sand in Iraq and it was like a scandal for like 2 weeks?
It's nuts. Do you have any idea like what would happen if this had happened during a Democratic administration? It would be wall to wall. I don't care if the exact same dynamic it was happening. I don't care if it was all Democrats. I don't care if the Democrats controlled the House, 75 senators to 25 and 400 to 35 in the House. We would be hearing about this until my 6th grader goes to college. This is just like incredible. And the only reason why, again, I don't want to be attacking Yemen at all. But if this is what they're doing with what is theoretically the most sensitive possible information you could have, I mean, short of like, hey guys, let's do our, it's time for our weekly pool on what the codes are to the nuclear weapons. Yeah. And if you get it right, I'll let you know. I mean, aside from that, like, hypothetically speaking, can you even come up with something that's more sensitive than this?
Spying on our allies, probably. Right. That information.
Yeah. Hey, guys, listen, I was just digging through the files. It turns out, guess who killed Princess Di? I mean, this is just extraordinary. Another day, another Trump attack on basic freedoms. This time, targeting Palestinian activist and green card holder Mahmoud Khalil, will help lead the Columbia University protests. But if you go to ground.news/majority, you're going to see how some outlets paint him as a radical threat, while others call out Trump's crackdown on dissent. The story hasn't changed, but the way it's told completely changes your perspective, the exact problem our partners at Ground News solve. If you like my show, you'll love how their app and website let you compare coverage from across the spectrum with context on how political bias, financial incentives, and even blind spots shape the narrative. Especially with so much of our media being driven by billionaire and political agendas, propaganda has become one of the most powerful weapons today. But Ground News is independent and nonpartisan, only committed to helping us think critically on the news, shaping everything from public opinion to policy. And since I can't cover every single attack on our rights, I've curated feeds that track key issues and trusted sources. This way, I know I'm bringing my viewers reliable information. Go to ground.news/majority or scan my QR code to see it in action for yourself. Because this story is bigger than just one activist being detained. It's about how media bias controls what you see and think. My viewers get the same unlimited access Vantage plan that I use for nearly half the cost, knocking the price down to just $5 a month. Hey folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.